I surrendered to his forbidden touch. Okay, I'm just gonna type this out quick before I lose my nerve because, gosh, I don't even know where to start with something like this. I mean, I've never told anyone, not my best friend, not my sister, nobody, and I'm using a fake name here. Let's call me Ellie, because if anyone knew, I'd just die of shame. This whole thing, it's like a secret that's been burning a hole in my chest for months, and I'm sitting here in my little apartment, curtains drawn, typing this out at 2 in the morning because I can't sleep, not with him still in my head. I'm not a writer, so forgive me if this is all over the place, but I just gotta get it out, you know. It's about me and, let's call him Jack. Oh gosh, even typing his name makes my heart race, and not in a good way, or maybe it is, I don't even know anymore. It started last summer, at my job. I work at this little diner, nothing fancy, just slinging coffee and pie to truckers and locals. I'm 24, kinda shy, always been the quiet one, you know, the girl who blushes when someone compliments her skirt or whatever. Jack, he's older, maybe 35, one of those guys who walks into a room, and it's like the air shifts. He's not even supposed to be there, he's the brother of my boss, comes by sometimes to help with deliveries or fix something, always in this tight black t-shirt that shows off his arms, and I swear, every time he looked at me, I felt like he could see right through my apron, right into my soul. I'd get all flustered, dropping spoons, stammering when he'd ask for a refill. He'd just smile, this slow, knowing smile, like he knew something I didn't. The first time anything happened, it wasn't even a big deal, or so I told myself. I was closing up, alone, wiping down counters, my skirt all sweaty and sticking to my thighs because the AC was busted again. Jack was there, fixing a shelf in the back. I didn't even know he was still around until I turned and there he was, leaning against the doorway, watching me. "You're working too hard, Ellie," he said, voice low, like he was talking about something else entirely. I laughed, nervous, said something dumb like, "Oh, you know, just gotta keep the place clean." He stepped closer and I swear, my heart was pounding so hard I thought I'd faint. He didn't touch me, not then, but he left a note on the counter before he went, scrawled on a napkin, "You look nice tonight." I stuffed it in my pocket, face burning, and I didn't sleep that night, just kept reading it over and over, wondering what he meant, why he'd write it. That note was the start, like the first clue in some game I didn't know I was playing. Over the next few weeks, it was like he was everywhere. He'd brush past me in the storage room, his hand grazing my waist, just enough to make me freeze, my breath catching. I'd tell myself, "Ellie, you're imagining things," but then I'd find another note, tucked under a plate or slipped into my apron pocket when I wasn't looking. "Wear that red dress again," one said, and I did, the next day, feeling like I was doing something wrong just by putting it on, the way it hugged my hips, the way I knew he'd notice. I was so nervous, so aware of every move I made, like I was waiting for him to do something, anything. I didn't want to admit it, but I was starting to crave those moments, those little sparks when his eyes met mine, when he'd say my name like it was a secret. The second time things got intense, it was after hours again. I was locking up, my hands shaking because I knew he was still there, somewhere. I found another note on the diner's door, taped there like it was waiting for me, "Meet me out back. Please." My stomach dropped. I should have gone home, I knew it, but my feet moved before my brain could catch up. He was there in the alley, leaning against his truck, cigarette glowing in the dark. "Ellie," he said, and the way he said it, it wasn't a question. He stepped closer and I backed up, my back hitting the brick wall, my skirt catching on the rough surface. His hands were on me before I could think, one on my hip, the other brushing my cheek, and I just stood there, frozen, my heart hammering. He leaned in, so close I could feel his breath, hot and heavy, and I thought, this is it, this is wrong, he's my boss's brother, I can't do this. But his fingers slid under the strap of my dress, tugging it down just a little, and I didn't stop him. I wanted to, or I told myself I did, but my body wasn't listening. We didn't kiss, not then, but the air between us was so thick, so charged, it was like we'd already crossed a line. Then we heard the crunch of gravel, someone walking nearby, and he pulled back, leaving me there, trembling, my dress half off my shoulder, my mind a mess. I ran home, locked my door, and sat on my bed, trying to catch my breath, wondering what I'd almost let happen. It kept going like that, this game of notes and glances and moments that made my skin burn. The third time, it was in the diner's break room, of all places. I was on my break, reading one of his notes. He'd left it in my locker. "I can't stop thinking about you," and I didn't hear him come in. Suddenly, he was there, closing the door, locking it. I stood up, my chair scraping, my blouse untucked from mopping the floor earlier. "Jack, we can't," I whispered, but he was already there, his hands on my waist, pulling me close. His fingers found the buttons of my blouse, undoing one, then another, and I just let him, my hands limp at my sides, my mind screaming that this was wrong, that someone could walk in, but my body was saying something else entirely. He was so sure, so commanding, like he knew I wouldn't stop him, and I didn't. His hands roamed, tracing the curve of my ribs, slipping under fabric, and I felt like I was drowning in him, in the heat of it, the way he made me feel like I was his. We stopped when we heard voices outside, pulling apart, my blouse half open, my face flushed. I fixed myself up, avoided his eyes, and left, my heart pounding with guilt and something else, something I didn't want to name. The fourth time, oh gosh, I can barely type this. It was late, after closing, and I'd found another note, my place. Tonight. You know where. I shouldn't have gone, I knew it, but I was like a moth to a flame, drawn to him despite every warning in my head. His apartment was just a few blocks away, and I stood outside his door for 10 minutes, my hands shaking, my skirt wrinkled from sitting in my car, debating. I knocked and he opened the door, pulling me inside before I could change my mind. The room was dim, just a lamp in the corner, and he didn't say a word, just looked at me like I was the only thing that mattered. His hands were on me, urgent, pulling at my skirt, my blouse, fabric sliding off my skin like it was nothing. I was so passive, so caught in his spell, letting him lead, letting him take. His fingers traced paths they shouldn't, across my thighs, higher, and I was lost, my breath coming in gasps, my mind a blur of want and shame. It was mind-blowing, once in a lifetime, the way he claimed me, the way I let him. We made love, or something like it, and it wasn't gentle, it was him taking, me giving, a dance I didn't know I knew the steps to. I pretended I was someone else, someone braver, someone who didn't care about consequences, but deep down, I knew I was just Ellie, letting herself fall. After I lay there, his arm heavy across me, and the weight of it hit me, what I'd done, what we'd done. He was my boss's brother, practically family to the people I worked with, and I'd let him unravel me, piece by piece. I slipped out before dawn, my clothes a mess, my heart heavier than ever. I keep telling myself it was a mistake, that I shouldn't have gone, but even now, typing this, I can feel his hands, the way he looked at me, and part of me, God help me, wants it again. I'm so ashamed, so scared someone will find out, but there's this thrill, too, this secret that's mine and his, and I don't know how to live with it. I see him at the diner sometimes, and he just smiles, like nothing's changed, but everything has. I don't know if I regret it or if I'm just scared of what it says about me, that I could be so weak, so willing to let go. I'm Ellie and this is my confession, and I don't know what to do with it now that it's out.